of today and tomorrow. I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the tuning of its dream. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Community, community, community. What is going on? Yes, I did not bring you the mellowing sounds of the late great notorious B.I.G. Instead, I gave you a quick snippet of what today is. Today is the 57th anniversary of the famous or infamous I Have a Dream speech by the late Martin Luther King Jr. And in case you don't know, you are watching Taking Notes with the Bearded Wonder, brought to you by the Blackness Podcast, which is brought to you by, of course, Designer Custom Glasses, The Next Page LLC, and of course, One Empire Mobile Studios. So yeah, it's the 57th anniversary of the famed I Have a Dream speech, and we're still fighting for justice. Like, we're still fighting to be equal. We're still fighting to be recognized and normalized as people, man. Like, how is it almost 60 years later, we're still not a part of the American fiber? We're not a part of the American way, or the American way, like however you want to look at it, however you want to say it. I got to definitely take my hat off and give props to the professional athletes that have protested and talked about, social reform, of course. Most notably, LeBron James has been the most vocal and it's probably the most visual of all the athletes that have taken a stand against social injustices. To the point that games were postponed. It happened across MLB, Major League Baseball, in case you know. They also had a few boycotts there as well. I just I don't quite understand it. I don't know why we're having the conversation like, or why we're addressing things like, well, just comply and, these things won't happen. I mean, we'll take a look at Kenosha, and we'll take a look at, take your pick. Take your pick. Like, why are we still having these conversations? What is really the difference? Skin color, you know what I'm saying? Like, socio-economic background. Like, come on. I mean, a 17-year-old and an unarmed black man. We're still having these conversations. We're still talking about this. It's still the narrative, but black people aren't, and people of color aren't seen as part of American fiber. You know what I'm saying? We're only a few generations removed, if you think about it. We're a few generations removed from our infrastructure being literally built on the backs of our ancestors. Like, we're not that far removed. I mean, 60 years is not that long ago. Think about it. It's not long ago. I really don't understand why a lot of people don't understand how this movement is working or works. Um, of course, it's supposed to be peaceful protest. That's what it's supposed to be. Then you have extremists. That's on any side. That's extremism on any side, either side. Honestly, I think the conversation that needs to be had the most is about the overall infrastructure of our country, which basically we should, be we should be having laws change. Like, there should be amendments, of course, to the Constitution, to our Bill of Rights, to everything. Like that shit was built and written a coon's age ago. Excuse the expression. Don't excuse the expression. I really don't give a shit. Like, at this point, um, I'm past anger. Um, I'm past frustrated. I'm past disgusted. Um, what I'm past trying to figure out what I tell my children in terms of governing themselves as individuals, as productive members of society once they become adults. Um, I'm gonna wonder about that. I'm gonna think about that. I'm going to lament that because that conversation changes by the second. It changes by the moment. It changes by our news cycle. Um, and I think I'm trying best I can to put my energy into uh, being a productive part of this movement. And if it's this platform, then that's what I'm gonna do. Um, I'm going to definitely speak my piece. I don't think that any tongue should be bitten when we talk about this. I think that the conversation should be an open and honest conversation. When I say honest, I mean nasty, like nasty honest. Like, have you been followed around the store as a child, or have you, what I'm saying, been pulled over just simply because the car you're driving? Like, has that happened to you? And you not be a person of color? No, that's it's once in a green moon if it's even happened. Um, for those that are just joining in, so taking notes with the bearded wonder, talking about the I Have a Dream speech. Today is the 57th anniversary of said speech, and I'm basically just kind of spilling my guts on how I feel about everything that's going on right now. Of course, I'm very angry, but I'm also trying to figure out a way um, to help, in a constructive way, a positive way. And this is a platform that I'm going to use to do so. And direct every avenue I can, I guess, just to help out and be a part of and enjoy it. I didn't make it to the march. I would have loved to have made it to the march, but I did not. I had a job that I had to attend to, so and I was not granted permission at all. So otherwise, I would have been there. That would have been dope. But no, I didn't make it. But I would have loved to have been a part of that for sure. So community, what you got for me? Like, what do you think? What do you think the conversation should be? If given the opportunity, if you're put in position to ask a lawmaker or to even change a law, how how would you go about it? And what would that law change be? And in the meantime, while you're giving me some chat fodder, because that'd be dope. I'm gonna go ahead and play some more of the It's not that long of a video.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I'm going to stop it right there because that sparked an idea for the bearded wonder. Boom, 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 boom. The neurons going off in my brain here. The same thing that was said 57 years ago, can't drive my point home any further, are the same senses, same, not parallel, not, running side by side, not touching. No, it's the same shit. It's the same thing that was being asked for back then, and we're asking for it now. Like just basic human rights. Like, I mean, it's so many questions, so many conversations to be had about this because it's such a multi-dimensional facet, in terms of the raw nature of this beast, like systemic racism and placism, and socialism, and ismism, and schisms. Like, enough is enough. And yes, this is coffee at 8:15ish, roughly Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I do that. It doesn't matter. I'll still go to sleep. Trust me, I'll crash. I have my sleeping medication right here, so I'm good. And I'm in a location where it's perfectly legal, so please don't report me to the YouTube police or any police for that matter. In a safe place where I can do such. So, fuck off. Nina said it too. Fuck off. By the way, in other news, Red Sox are getting fucking trounced by the Nationals. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, community. Like, 57 years, talking about the same thing. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm actually going to move the needle a little bit, and I'm going to talk about sports. I brought it up a little bit, and I talked about the pro athletes protesting in the name of social reform and social um, injustice and systemic racism and placism and schisms. Like I said, um, the athletes took a stand that more than spoke volumes because they realized, and they even said, there's power in labor. And even though, they're playing a game, a child's game, you know, a recreational game, however you want to look at it, even though they're playing a game and they're entertaining, sports entertainment, is crying out loud. So they're entertainers, athletic entertainers for that matter. Um, and realizing that, with them stopping play, they actually hit the pockets of these owners and sponsors, and that's why the NBA, kind of worked quick now. And that's not now. I don't know Adam Silver, so I can't speak on the commissioner himself. But I mean, based on what I've seen in terms of his business acumen with the NBA, he's done some good things. He's put some good initiatives into place off the court that support certain movements such as Black Lives Matter. So I mean, he worked quickly. Like they're gonna set up arenas to be polling centers. So there is no excuse for voter turnout. And they put social distance guidelines into place. so that folks can actually show up at these arenas and physically vote in person. And I think that is a great move by the NBA. It's basically now 4D chess at this point. So what other league is next? What other league will do it? I mean, I'm suggesting, let's use the indoor stadiums of, the NFL, indoor outdoor stadiums, the ones that cover and shit. They can use that, provided, because it's like a Tuesday. So there you go. 4D chess. I mean, the NBA and MLB made some big statements by postponing games and protesting games in the wake of and name of social injustice and social reform. It's so beyond overdue, like so beyond overdue. That I mean, I couldn't imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said it before, I wasn't, I wasn't born during, the civil rights movement, so I have no clue what that was like. But this is the modern day civil rights movement. And I basically, I used to share that all the time with my mom and had those discussions with my granddad, my aunt alike. I don't know what I would have done then. And they always, oh, we would have shown you, and my mom even said, my aunt even said, even my granddad said, well, it's a little different now because of the advent of technology. So it's going to be a lot different. That particular, uh, warfare, if you will, is going to be completely different. The protests are going to be completely different. The turnouts are going to be completely different. So yeah, it's one of those types of things where you have to, pretty much like pick your spots or be available enough, to stream it or take a picture or have, post or whatever, to go live, whatever it is you have to do to bring light to whatever your purpose or cause is. This is bigger than anything. I mean, this is just crazy, man. Kenosha, oh, man, it's like, man, I can't even. It's like, I guess that's kind of my like, plea for protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to watch out for each other. Like, we got to look out, man. Protect our men, protect our women, protect our babies. Like, we got to. We got to shield each other, man. What the fuck? Like, every time you walk outside on the other side of that door, there is no promise. Like, it's fucking hunting season. You know what I'm saying? In terms of people of color and being black, and I'm just being honest. I'm just being blunt. And what I'm saying, I'm being unapologetic about it. Like, legit. If Drake Cook sees this and calls me out on this and says, hey man, look, that was a little over the top. Apologies to you, brother, but no, I mean that shit. Like, I'm not like that. This shit is too fucking unreal. Like, I mean, just imagine. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, imagine getting up, getting yourself bathed and prepare for your day and get dressed. You think about your outfit as you're bathing. So you think about your outfit, have your outfit picked out, put on, underwear and everything, put your outfit on, tidy, you tidy up before you get ready to walk out the door. So then the next thing you think is, oh, do I have my wallet? Okay, I got my wallet. Do I have my phone? I have my phone. Great. Do I have my keys? I have my keys. Great. And then before you even touch the door, your next thought should never be, I hope this isn't the last time I come back on the other side of this door today. I I hope I pray that like you should always pray before you leave and come home. I think that's a good thing, a good practice. But you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like your. It should be like keys, wallet, phone. All right, cool. On my way to work, or on my way to run my errands, or on my way to kick the bobo with the boys, or get my kids, or whatever it is you have to do. Like your next thought should never be like, am I going to make it back, or am I going to make it to my destination? Like, like the thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't, we always, for the most part, we try not to perpetuate the stereotypes. Um, or they say you shouldn't, perpetuate the stereotypes. But that works in both directions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't fear the authority the way that we do, but we do because of those stereotypes. We just had that shit on tape. Rodney King was the first one. Well, let's talk about everything. Let's go back to Emmett Till. Like, I mean, he wasn't a police thing, but just brutality. Like, come on. Like, it's got to be a better. It got to be a better way to make this shit work. To hold people accountable, hold the right people accountable, to make the right changes and the right moves, and to say the right things to the right people or whatever. Put the right people in the right places. I mean, fuck it. Like, whatever it is, man. I don't have the power to do that, but I'm gonna use whatever power I have to help facilitate that. And this is it. This is my power right here. This is it. In case you don't know, this is Taking Notes with the Bearded Wonder, brought to you by the Black and Business Podcast. So yeah, there's that name drop. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pin the website. There's a new feature on our website, by the way. It is a booking feature. Yes, you heard me correct. You can correctly rather. You can book with us on said website, and that is pretty dope. We also have links to a few of our past guests and some upcoming guests, so you can take a look there. And yeah, subscribe to the page as well. There is a join feature. You can actually join the page itself, and it's pretty cool. Some things are being worked out. Some of the kinks are being worked out. Um, we're going to say bear with us because we're both trying to work on the site as freelancers. So there's that. But if you know somebody who does it and can host the website and can hook us up and are minority owned, we'll do it. We're all for it. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Are you are you checking this out from the site, or are you checking this out on YouTube? Is that from the chat on the site? I need a little feedback. We need to see how this is working. To be perfectly honest. All right, cool. But anyway, 57 years after the first March on Washington and the infamous and famous "I Have a Dream" speech, we're still talking about the same things. Talked about the big move a lot of the professional athletes made to um, protest the social injustice that are going on, injustices rather, injustices, excuse me. Um, yeah, yeah. Kenny Smith, shout out to the Jet for walking off of TNT. That was dope. I stand with you. Um, hey man, that was he just couldn't in good conscience. I mean, you saw it. He was just like I can't. He's like, I can't sit here and watch these. I can't do it. And I can't sell myself for $1. Like I can't do it. And I respect that. I respect that. It's a free platform. We're working on a free platform. So you book with us, it's free. Um, by the way. But however, if you want to donate, there are options to do that too. We can give you that information as well once you book. All right, cool. Most of you, okay, that's cool. All right, we'll figure out the website thing. I don't look. We're learning. Sorry, community. We're novices. We're noobs. It is what it is. Love it. I mean, you're here, so that's cool. You know what I'm saying? One is better than none. Or two is better than none. Or four is better than none. Cool. I don't know who's picking up what from the website, so I can't see, who's actually watching from the site. So that's actually kind of funny. Like they're watching the live right now. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's where it's at. So yeah, I'm gonna actually let's see, I'm gonna fuck with the internet a little bit on my own stream. 'Cause why not? Actually, shit. Who wouldn't? I don't take notes. Really. Um, oh yeah. All right, never mind. I ain't gonna mess with it. I ain't gonna mess with it. I don't want to mess up the stream. Yeah, perfectly honest. I'm not quite ready to leave. But I'm going to be in just a little bit. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of time. I really just wanted to like kind of spill my guts about what this day really like means to me. So um, let me get into that, and then I'll let the community disperse. Um, and I'll be on my way too. So yeah, I gotta go to work anyway. Okay, yeah, regular dude. Um, this day, 57 years ago, um, meant a lot to a lot of people that I know and love. Granddad, mom, my aunt. My aunt was a type at the time, and my mom was a little bit older, but not much older. Um, it was, they, went to the march. It was the first march. So my granddad, spent time, helping on, you know, the civil rights movement in certain ways, in certain aspects, and doing certain things in terms of protesting. And my granddad's, left record in the thing. He's 91 years old, and his shit was like civil unrest and shit like that. And that was, based on him protesting, it was some shit like that. Um, and so, I mean, it just still shows up and shame on our very, very broken justice system. So yeah, to me, it means a lot because it was something that was near and dear to them, and being that was near and dear to them, it's definitely near and dear to me. Um, and not only that, in that spirit and in their spirit, um, I want to do the best I can to help facilitate whatever it is we need to move forward. So, what I'm saying? Like, that's what all of this is about. That's what the podcast is about. That's what, taking notes is about. But it's a little, a little more unfiltered because it's just me. I'm just, shooting it straight from the hip. You know what I'm saying? I give myself a topic and I just go from there. You know what I'm saying? Topic or two. Um, and just go from there. I will say this: this fight is long from being over. So we have to keep our energy up. We have to uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? We have to um, pull each other up, motivate each other, um, love one another, respect one another. Um, no tear downs, no strip downs, no discounts, no shortcuts. None of that shit. Like, we gotta be true to each other, man. Transparent to each other. Like, legit. We have to. We have to. Like, it's the only way we're gonna help, facilitate winning this particular fight. Um, it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna hurt. We're gonna lose people in different ways and aspects and forms. So be prepared. Um, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get a Democrat in office, not necessarily mean they're your friend. You know what I'm saying? So just throwing that out there. Being honest. It's just the way it works. You know what I'm saying? You guys have seen it before in the past. You've seen so-called presidents, still elections, like 45, for example. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very surreal and it's very upsetting. Absolutely. I thoroughly concur. It's not this shit ain't it's not a game, man. It's not a game. It's not a game. And I tell you this though, I do foresee us as a people coming out, you know, positive on the other side. Um, but you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be uphill. Like it's gonna be uphill, struggle and fight. And you have to respect the fight itself and do what's best for each other and each other's sake. So yeah, um, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna throw y'all a little more MLK, but before I do, in the words of rapper Joel Santana, don't watch me, watch TV. Y'all be safe, man. Stay masked up. Do social distance. Follow the CDC guides. I'm not playing with y'all. Don't fucking come around me with the fucking coronavirus. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Stunner. If you don't know what that is, look that shit up. Use this platform, YouTube. YouTube University is real. YouTube TV is legit. Um, shameless plug. YouTube, look out for the board. That'd be cool. Look out for the podcast. That'd be dope. Yeah, check the website out. It's right there in the chat. Bing bing. Go take a look. Go holla. It's been real. It's been true. I hope y'all can hear it.